Hi, and welcome to this week's version of Motivational Monday. Today's topic is hashtag loving me, suicide. Let's talk about it. Suicide seems to be a taboo topic for our community, and I really think we need to talk about it a little more often so that we can help prevent some of the cases of suicide, and not only those who do kill themselves, but help those who are making those attempts. In the spirit of transparency, suicide is an issue that I've dealt with personally. I've made attempts previously, and I've also had issues where I seriously considered the possibility. Suicide is a real struggle for some people, and I think we don't do a good enough job about reaching those people and not only helping to prevent their suicide, but also doing what we can to help them work through those issues. So just a little bit of background about me. I grew up in the church. I'm still very much a Christian, but growing up in the church, when you were dealing with issues or you were depressed or sad about something, you were often told to pray about it. And I'm a firm believer in prayer, but sometimes you need a little bit more. Sometimes you need therapy, and you need to be able to talk to a third party person who's not going to be judgmental, who's not going to um, overshare their opinion, someone who's going to listen. And so I dealt with it at a very, very young age, as young as maybe 5. And then I also dealt with it in high school, and then I dealt with it in college as well. However, when I dealt with it in college, I had free therapy available to me as a part of my tuition and fees. And so, because of that, I actually decided to seek out counseling. And I remember I was really severely depressed, and one of my really good friends at the time said to me, "He's like, I really need you to see somebody." And that was the first time I even considered the possibility. And ironically enough, I was a psychology major, and never once did it cross my mind that I needed to see someone, because I was raised basically to think that prayer was enough. And I'm not saying prayer isn't good. I love being able to talk to God directly and get His guidance, but you do have to get it off your chest in a safe way as well. So I wanted to give some statistics about suicide, and these are coming from SAVE, which is Suicide Awareness Voices of Education. In 2014, there were 42,773 deaths in the US, which is approximately 117 a day, one every minute. Suicide is the 10th leading cause of death, with homicide being the 17th. There is one suicide per 25 attempts, and one suicide per 4 attempts with the elderly. So understanding that the elderly are at a higher risk than what we may realize. Suicides are 4 times more likely by a male than a female, with men taking up 79% of suicides. But females are more likely to have suicide thoughts and attempt suicide 3 times as often as males. Poisoning is the most common method for females, and handguns are the most common method for males. Suicide is the second leading cause of death for Americans between the ages of 15 and 24. These are really critical years, and we have to be aware of that and understand when people in our lives that we care about, when they're going through things, and how we can best support them. If you or someone you know is dealing with suicidal thoughts, or even attempts, or just considering the possibility, please call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. It's open 24/7, it's free, and there's someone there you can talk to. That number is 1-800-273-8255. The call is confidential, and the call is free. Now, to address some of the warning signs. If a person begins to talk about being a burden to others, feeling trapped, experiencing unbearable pain, having no reason to live, or even discussing the idea of killing themselves, or even making comments such as, "If I died tomorrow, would you miss me?" These are warning signs. People are reaching out to help, and the fact that they had that conversation with you means they trust you. Some specific behaviors to look out for: increased use of drugs and alcohol, looking for ways to kill themselves or doing research on how to kill themselves, acting recklessly as if they're challenging death, withdrawing from activities that they love, and isolating themselves from family and friends, sleeping too much, or even sleeping too little, visiting or calling people just to say goodbye, giving away their prized possessions, and even extreme aggression. So you want to make sure that you're looking out for these warning signs, particularly if you know that that person is at high risk, has a lot of high risk factors involved with them. Some of those risk factors can include mental health conditions, substance abuse disorders, serious or chronic health conditions or pain. Environmental factors can include stressful life events, which could be the loss of a job, death of a loved one, or even divorce. Prolonged stress factors, so if that's harassment, bullying, or consistent relationship problems, or also exposure to another person's suicide can be a risk factor, and also having access to lethal methods, including firearms and dangerous drugs. Historical factors are something to keep in mind. If that person has made previous suicide attempts, family history of suicide attempts. And so I hope this message reaches somebody today. If you feel like you are struggling or you just need somebody to talk to, please reach out to someone. And as a survivor of suicidal thoughts, I know it's difficult, but you have to decide to live. You have to make the choice that your life is worth living. And so I leave you with a few quotes today. The first one: suicide doesn't end the chances of life getting worse, it eliminates the possibility of life getting any better. And this one resonates particularly with me because I really felt that there was no point for me to be here. And there were several points in my life where I thought, what's the point? Why am I here? I'm doing more harm to those I love just by being here. But I'm now at a place where I can say, life gets so much better. And I'm thankful that I didn't succeed in my suicide attempts. The next quote: suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Your problem may seem like it's the end of the world, but killing yourself does end your world. And it can hurt those around you too. And my last quote for today: when you feel like giving up, just remember the reason you held on for so long. And I hope this helps someone. And again, if you need to reach out to somebody, the National Suicide Prevention Hotline is available. It's 1-800-273-8255. Please call. Call someone. Reach out to someone and seek help. Thank you.